Everybody, welcome back. I'm Abby Heckyard. I'm going to do one little quick bit of click this, click this. There we go. And I'm going to pick up my cup of coffee and I'm going to take a sip, just like this. Uh, so, I have a new family member in my office and I'm going to shift my chair so you can see him. Do you see my little lamp beside Mom? I absolutely, there's nothing about this place, this apartment, this everything that I don't love. Everything is amazing. On a gray day, and we get a lot of gray days in the winter, these soft dove gray walls tend to, um, uh, what do they do? They take away the color, which is why I went with a bunch of touches of orange in the first place and lime green. At the back, though, when I'm doing my videos and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm seeing it, it was sort of darker in that corner. And then when I'm working late, sometimes I'm up, typing away, and it feels a bit on the gloomy side. And so I thought I'll find a lamp, and then when I thought, yes, that would be my lamp. I'll just come over here. So here we are. So this is the second. First of all, it's episode 224. Secondly, it is the only second episode with this new plan I have in place, which is to expand the reach. So, as I'm talking to you here, I am actually also broadcasting through some bit of IT magic that allows me to be here and there now at the same time. And the reason to do that is not to get distracted and to forget why I came into the room. It is to connect the people when I say on when I'm seen on Facebook and I say so YouTube, and when I'm on YouTube and I say so Facebook, and now when I'm also broadcasting on LinkedIn and I'm saying to you, I'm now on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is hearing that I'm on YouTube and Facebook. I'm trying to create a connection, more like we are a tribe. We are a tribe doing this. We are a tribe investigating the possibilities of how Pivotry in Motion is a cool name for this thing that we've decided to try. And well, good morning, Freddie, and good morning, Josh. How wonderful to see you. So the idea of branching out on different platforms, because people go to these different platforms for different reasons, and I wanted to kind of sneak up behind them and go, hey, how you doing? Oh, hi, Abby. What are you doing here? And give people their reasons to check this out. Give them their curiosity about the thing that is bugging them to check this out. Not simply because, I've been on Facebook for a while and I post every day and I'm learning to figure out YouTube and I'm getting into the swing of having podcasts and whatnot. And I'm going on more of other people's podcasts. Not because I'm losing my mind and I'm lonely or anything, but because different people in different places at different times are saying, "Wait, Abby Haggard, that name sounds familiar. Oh my God, that show. Oh my God, yes, that show. Is she still alive?" And so, so the idea is to create an awareness of something that was really positive and really fun and really energizing, triggering for people. Why? Well, because it's January. Actually, it's February now today. Happy February. It's the first day of the Chinese New Year. Happy Dragon Day. It's Dragon Day, and we need to be able to pick up a simple weapon, a simple something. Just that was weird. I don't know what that is. Somebody just came on. How do I get rid of that? Hang on a second. Something's odd here. There we go. Okay, that's gone. Um, Everybody's having a bit of trouble focusing. Everybody has been having trouble focusing. Everybody made New Year's resolutions, even if the resolution was, I'm not going to make any this year. Everybody made a resolution. They always do. We always do. And for a lot of us, it's not working. Um, I read something the other day that the second Monday in January, or the second Friday in January, is called Friday Fail. You really miss Josh. You really miss You Can't on Television. You were really funny. Well, thank you, Josh. Thank you. Really funny is, how I sneak up on people. They're laughing really hard, and I've gotten them to give me a lift someplace. Thank you. That's a very, very kind and wonderful thing to say. That I'm sorry you missed it. You can watch it on YouTube until such time as all the legal people get their acts together. Um, what I was starting to say here is that I think we need connection in a way that we haven't been exploring it. I think we've been doing it and we've kept doing it because it ain't broke, except that it is. And I think we've pretty much put all the band-aids we can on the dashboard to hide all of the warning lights. And I think we've run out of excuses. And now we're just exhausted and fed up and confused and not having as much fun as we should. So my purpose in this is to connect the past to the future here in the present. My purpose in this is to bring the best and the worst into focus and figure out which parts of those we want to keep working with, and figure that out now in this moment, and then put a bow on it or pack it and give it a hug and say goodbye, and take with us into the future, which is, and by the way, the next second, right? The future is always coming. So that we don't have as much invisible baggage. We don't have as much stuff that's in the way. And we don't have as much autopilot instruction that for a lot of us was never even helpful in the first place. However, we keep doing what that instruction was because it's way back here. We're not paying attention, and we're too tired to think of something else. And I've had a couple of conversations this week, and I saw something yesterday that I looked at, and I thought I have to post that on my daily Facebook thing. It was a picture of a woman, a redhead, holding a cup of coffee, and she's got her back to the wind. She's leaning back into the wind, and her hair is all blowing this way. And I was looking at it, and I thought, well, she's leaning in. And the key here is that you don't have to face that way. You don't have to face the storm. You don't have to face the freezing dreck. You can come into it this way. Buffalo are the only animals that walk face on into the storm saying, gee, Bob, this is really getting old. All the other animals are either staying home or they're going in like this because, hello. And I thought, this is the conversation we need to have this week now as we lean into the weekend. Good morning, Daniel. How are you? It's good to see you. Good to hear from you. How's your cat? So I want to talk about the fact that we're not listening. And I want to talk about the fact that we're very upset when we realize that other people aren't listening to us. Because we're here, and I had something to say, and they're just standing there, and they're on their phone, or they're just kind of off. You're looking them in the eye, but the eyes aren't focused. And why are they even here if they're not even going to be paying attention to me? It's like somebody just hit them upside the head, and they got nothing left. Oh wait, that's how I feel. Maybe I should be listening to them a little more. Is where I think we can be and should be, because people are so grumpy. Oh my God, they're grumpy. I went downstairs to check for my mail, and In the lobby, beautiful, stunning lobby. In the lobby, there's a man on a ladder, and there's a hatch opened in the ceiling very close to this chandelier that's in the lobby. And from the shoulders up, he's in there. He's in there. And one of the managers is standing beside the ladder, holding the ladder for safety and everything. And I said, good heavens. And I said, does he not know that there's another way to leave the building? I mean, the door is right there. The manager said, shh, don't tell him. He thinks he's discovered something. I said, what's going on? And the manager said, we think there might be a leak and we want to check it out. The thing is, if there is a leak and we think there might be, we don't know where it's coming from. So he's having a look. And I said, oh, wow. And so then the two of us are looking up and all we can really see are this guy's shoulders. And the manager said, listen, Abby, here's the thing. When you need to get it done right, you hire a professional because you can put your trust in them that they know what they're doing. I feel so much better now that he's here taking a look. I said, okay then. So I'm standing there, at which point the professional comes down one step, looks at the manager and says, you're doomed. I'm out of here. Big grin on his face. And for a split second, the manager was really concerned. Split second. Good. He's like, and I was laughing. I said, how to get their attention in 3, 2. And the guy was grinning all the way down the ladder. He said, yeah, I figured out where it is. Feel so confident we have this professional. You're doomed. I'm leaving. Now, not everybody has a sense of humor. I'll give you that. Not everybody, I never got a chance to say, not everybody is using humor in a way that feels comfortable. I'll give you that. Not everybody has enough confidence, enough feeling that they have a safety net around them to be in a place to joke. I'll give you that. All the more reason that we need to be talking to each other. All the more reason that we need to be listening. A few weeks ago, actually it's a month ago now, because it was just around Christmas. I went to the grocery store and I bought my groceries. And a really nice girl helping bag the stuff when I paid for it. And I was putting my little card back in my purse. And I said, are you ready for Christmas? And I'm just, chit-chatting. We've been chatting through the loading the bags and stuff. And how are you? My name is this. And how do you say your name? And so, have you been in Canada long? All that. And I said, are you ready for Christmas? And she said, it's not going to be much of a Christmas this year. Sometimes it's like that. And I said, I know exactly what you mean. And I looked in the wallet and I realized that there was a $20 bill right there. And I said, and I know they don't take tips, but she was lovely. She was trying hard. She did a great job packing. She was very helpful and very friendly. And so I took the 20 out and I folded it. And I said, it's been wonderful talking to you. And I put my hand out. And so she reached forward to shake it. With my other hand, I put the 20. And I said, I think when you were helping me pack, you dropped this, probably out of your pocket. I hope at least coffee, maybe on me. And she looked down. She said, and I said, it's better to give than receive, always. And she said, thank you. Thank you. And when she said the second time, thank you, her shoulders did something. Something happened. I don't know what it was. She was charming. She was friendly. She did not look unhappy. She did not look tired. Her energy was good. I have a feeling she was being very brave. I didn't make much of a difference. I spent a lot more money on the groceries than the $20 I gave her. But I was trying to listen to what she was saying to me. I was trying to hear what else was going on, and I couldn't hear it. And I thought, you know what? I can do something. I can do a very small thing. And I knew she didn't. I knew she was really, really not happy about me. She was happy about me offering it. I think she wasn't happy about needing it. I think that's what it was. And I didn't want to abuse her dignity. So the listening thing, why aren't they listening? I think the I know that when I'm talking about something serious and then I start to laugh, I know that that might undermine the power and the purpose of the reason for the video. However, every time I talk to people and every time I have a lesson that I learned that I want to share, what I'm trying to do is lighten the mood, bring you to a place where you're feeling good so that it's in the feeling good place that you hear what I have to say. And that way, if and when you remember what I have to say, you feel good in remembering the moment you heard me. It's like every time I don't feel well, I remember my mother making tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich. And if I'm in a restaurant and I see somebody having that, I don't remember being sick. I remember being looked after. I remember being loved. That's what those seeing that and smelling that and tasting that, that's what the associated memory comes back with it. And I think that in the not listening and in the looking up and looking at but not seeing, in the not giving 100% focus to take in 100% of the details, I think the not showing up is the red flag that we're exhausted. And I think that, one of the coping mechanisms that we've developed in staying in touch with, because if we couldn't go out during COVID, we couldn't safely go places and get together with people, and we missed that. We missed that tribe, that family, that fun, anticipation, excitement. This was the next best thing. Except that it isn't the next best thing if we're doing this in the middle of being here. And a couple of things happened to me in my life recently that made me see how powerful this is, how powerful the decision to be here now really is. The first one, it's a while ago now, back in Brooklyn. Somebody tried to break into my car, and a biker gang came to rescue me by fixing the car. And when I first met them, it terrified me because, by the way, biker. And then they did fix it, and they were like these great big, little kids punching each other on the shoulder and hawing, except that also bikers. And so that was a bit of a thing to wrap my head around. And they said they had basically adopted me as, too innocent of the world to realize how dangerous it was where I was. And they started pulling me out of traffic, in the nick of time. And the head biker said, "And you don't got to worry about the guy who tried to break into your car." And I said, "Oh, why?" And he said, "Yeah, we found out who it was, and we had a little talk with him." And I said, and did you call the police?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Oh, well, why don't I have to worry?" He said, "Because we broke both his arms at the elbows to teach him a lesson." And I said, "How could you do that?" He says, "Very simple. You take a short length of pipe, you put it behind." I said, "No, no, 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 no." I said it's up the 7,000 times. "I don't want to know how. I want to know how." The biker says, "You listening to you?" And it has clearly stuck with me. Not not merely the story of brute violence in order to correct a wrong, which I don't advocate at all, but Here, hold my brick. what, what fascinated me was what I had asked was not the question he heard. What I had tried to explain was not the justification he heard. What he heard was, woman's not safe alone on her own, let alone with machinery. We're going to have to protect her for a long time until we can get her out of this neighborhood. And it's such a great story because it's so silly. You listening to you? And I think to myself, and periodically I say it now. I don't always say it with the accent because that's a little disconcerting. But I say it to people because it does a thing that my ancestors invented. It's a pattern interrupt. It is a bicycle going by, stick in the spokes. If bicycle stops, person falls over. We have their undivided attention. First rule of marketing: get their attention. All of this resonating over and over and over again. Get their attention. Why? Well, because if you don't get their attention, they didn't hear you, they didn't see you, they didn't take anything away from your exchange with them. It was a waste of everybody's time. If they show up on the horizon and you start talking and they don't turn their head and say, hey, how you doing? And they just keep going, you're wasting your breath. Why would you do that? Well, maybe they'll listen. No, first of all, you have to get their attention and then they'll listen. So if they're on their phone, oh yeah, oh, traffic, oh yeah, okay, so, they're not here. They've chosen to opt out. They've chosen to do that thing that I say. The definition of multitasking is doing many things badly, not because we're doing them badly, but because we're only doing them with 10% of our attention. We're parceling out the other 10%ers to the other 200 things we're trying to do badly, not effectively, incompletely. Oh, I didn't realize that was the thing. Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Oh, did you? Oh, I guess I didn't hear you. No, you weren't here. It's not the here part. It's the here part that's the situation. I just thought of it. It's not here, it's here. Do we like that? I love that. I think that's important. If you're not here, you can't hear. How do we fix it? The disappointment of having a New Year's resolution and losing interest, the initial excitement, the first 2 weeks of the new year, everything's very busy. And then all of a sudden, gradually, all the busy, immediate stuff, take the tree down, put the decorations away, find the cat. Oh, that's where you've been. All of that leaving on the tide, we are now back in the routine. And the interesting thing about the routine that we weren't listening to when we made the resolution is we need to find the time for the new thing in the routine. I have this little life hack that I use all the time with clients. I call it the time scheduler. And I'm just writing this down. I'm learning things as I'm talking to you. It's all because of you. So the time scheduler is a really interesting wake-up call for people. And it causes us to listen to ourselves, to our ideas, to the lunacy that we are embarking upon, or to the brilliance that we have uncovered. It goes like this. There's 24 hours in a day, every day. So the time scheduler shows you a week, and it's blocked off in boxes. The boxes aren't the hours. So it's 7 days. The boxes aren't the hours. The boxes are the things we do in a given day. So we sleep. We have personal maintenance. And by personal maintenance, I mean brush the teeth, comb the hair, have the shower, get the towel, dry us off, choose what to wear, put it on, say, "Ooh, no, change that." Go downstairs or go across the hall or go out of the tent and do the next right thing. Make the breakfast. All of that is personal maintenance, right? Eat the breakfast. So that's a meal. I do have a section on meals because cooking and eating and sharing is also socializing. So every single section of the day, there is room for an activity. And I've done a pretty good job, they tell me, of identifying the things that we do. Errands, travel time, not necessarily to Honolulu, but from here to the office and back. Time at the office, work, house maintenance, mow the lawn, kick the mice out of the basement, all of that stuff. Time at the job, time at the gym, time with friends. Everything is there that you assign how many hours today, how much time today. And at the end of the day, it ends up with 24 every day. And if it doesn't, we have to have a talk. And at the end of the week, it ends up with 7 times 24. The last box before the total is the new thing. And the new thing is there, and it's available on 7 days a week. The new thing is there to give people an opportunity to decide how much time they're going to invest in it. Now, they didn't have the new thing before. So this is a new category, which means that before the new thing's not here, gone, that's there. That means that everything above the new thing originally added up to 24 hours. Because at the end of the day, when we go to bed, when we wake up in the morning, we didn't have time left over. We don't carry those hours and minutes and seconds forward. We use them, and then they're gone. We may just use them sitting staring at something, staring out the window, but we use them. I call that research. I call that reflection, right? Whatever you want to call it, we use the time. So in order to have the new thing, I'm really excited, in order to have the new thing, we must look at all the other things we do and decide which of them we are prepared to borrow time from temporarily, because we have to decide we like the new thing, borrow time from to put there. Oh, you only need 3 hours a week to start this new business, this new home-based thing. Liar. Oh, was that the first time somebody lied to you? If we only need 3 hours a week, when are those 3 hours? Morning, afternoon, or evening? Well, it can't be in the evening because I have the kids and I have my whist group and I have the book club. And okay, so afternoon. Oh, well, no, we can't do that. Maybe I can do it on Saturday. What do you normally do on Saturday? Look on Saturday. What do you do? Oh, that's right. I do this. And now the really serious conversation starts to happen before we invest anything. Where do I put it? Why do we ask that question? We have to listen to the answer. Where do I put it that I will stick to it? Do I really have time for it in my life? Am I as excited and committed and hopeful and eager to explore this as I think I am? Am I excited, eager, blah, 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 enough to borrow from all these other things that I already do, that I already like, that I'm already accustomed to? Am I willing to take away some of that enjoyment to invest in this thing that I think might be the new thing? Will I do that? Will I commit on this one sheet? Let's do the next week's sheet. Will I commit that time? If so, write it down. Because at the end of the day, each day, that's right beside the bed, or it's right beside where you're brushing your teeth in the morning. And you're looking at it. Maybe you put in the new hours, the new timing, the new thing in a different color ink. Maybe you highlight that column so your eye is naturally drawn to it. Did I give it that hour today? Or was I, munching on cheese doodles, watching something that lasts 60 seconds over and over and over again on a screen? If I did those other things instead, it doesn't mean I failed. It means I'm not ready. It means that the voice saying, hey, boys and girls, let's do this. It's only 3 hours a week and we can be millionaires. Are all the rest of the parts of me listening to that little voice? Or are all the rest of the parts of me going, shh, it'll pass. Let's carry on doing what we do. Are we listening to us first? Are we listening to our ideas? Are we listening to the little inner voice that is telling us, oh, we can't go there? Why not? We don't go, people like us, we don't go there. Yes, but why not? Stop asking questions. We don't go there. We don't have time for this. Yeah, but why don't we go there? One of us isn't listening to us. And this takes me back to the other thing that I'm talking about a lot. Who wrote the story? Who wrote your story? I have a friend in the States, a client, become a friend, who has, for all the time that I've been working with them, said, well, I can't do that. No, I know I can't do that. And in my last conversation with them, so there was a laugh on the line, and my client said, you know that thing where you say blah, 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 and I say, oh, I can't do that. Yes, I do. I am well aware of it. And the client said, I finally heard me doing it. My son heard me doing it. He said, why do you keep saying that? And the client said, I said to my son, what are you talking about? Well, every time I suggest this, you always say, I can't do that. Well, I can't do that. Why can't you do that? And my client said, it took him in that moment, the way he asked me, for me to hear, for me to realize I kept saying it. And I said, oh, really? Apparently, what am I, a chopped liver? The client said, no, that's not it. I was trying to get past that question because it was inconvenient and it triggered something that I didn't want to be triggered by, because we're on a client call and it's exciting what we're doing. And when every time you would suggest that particular path, I'd say, no, I wanted to stay here. I didn't want to even think about that. No, as my son, why do you do that? What's wrong with it? And I said, and what's the answer? The client says, there's nothing wrong with it. I said, okay, but it came from someplace. You didn't just invent, no, not doing that. No, not doing that. And the client said, I know. And then it was so funny. It was something I kept hearing my mother say to a neighbor or a friend. Oh, no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. No, forget that. We can't do that. And I said, wow. So you were young. Yeah. And there were certain things that you simply couldn't do. Those were just hard and fast rules. They were so hard and so fast and so true. There was no need to discuss them. There was but why? There was none of that. The client says, that's exactly it. And I said, how cool. How cool to see it. How cool that it came up out of the back and came around the front and said, hey, how you doing? You can hear you now. Client says, yeah. I said, do you know what the trigger mechanism was for that knee-jerk reaction from your parent? Yeah. Is that knee-jerk reaction relevant in your life? Client says, that's the point. It isn't. And I said, oh, So you were just parroting. Yeah. Client said, that thing you talk about mirroring, the thing we learn. We learn without thinking because we learn it young. We learn it before thinking. We learn it just when we're in the middle of learning. Forget why, learn how. We discuss why later. And I'm smiling on the phone, and I said, "How about that?" Client says, "Oh God, you're smiling that smile, aren't you? I can hear it. I can hear it in your voice." And I said, "Well, I don't care how the aha moment happens. I care that the aha moment happens." Client says, "Yeah, and I got to go back and look at all the reasons I said I couldn't do stuff, like all the stuff that I no, I can't do that." And I said, "What do you suppose happened?" Client says, "I don't." I stopped listening anytime I was triggered. I just shut down. And I said, um, because it was a waste of my time to invest my time in something that wasn't going to happen. Interesting. Interesting. Client says, "Yeah, but I love that stuff. I'm not my parent. I'm me." And I said, "So you found a chapter in the story that definitely wasn't written by somebody who knew you." Exactly. I said, "So you're here now. You're hearing and you're here now." Yeah. Okay, then. So the second thing I want to tell you that just happened is that there is a house that is up for sale that it is my job to sell as the executor of the estate. And nobody's come to see it. Now, in the first place, it's January. In the second place, snow, sideways sleet, rain, cold. And by the way, January. By the way, January. And the realtor said, "I'm really sorry. We have a lot of online looks." "Oh, really? Tell me about the online looks." Sends me the graphics. And I said, "Oh, that's interesting." And we get on the phone. And she said, "Why is it interesting?" And I said, "Well, people are shopping in their pajamas. Look at all the stuff." I said, "You know the number of things that I've bought in the last 2 months online instead of going to the store? I could have gone to the store. Where I've moved to now is right in the heart of everything. Stores are all around me. What a terrible temptation." But I stayed in. I stayed home. Why? I was exhausted. I caught a cold at the beginning of December, and I basically spent most of the rest of the month face down. Soup, juice, get up and go out. No. I was just exhausted. I was done because I'd been doing nonstop. She said, "So you're not upset?" I said, "Well, love to have the house sold. Love to have, that's the last thing that we've done our job. Yes, I'm very eager that we reach that place. That's very important to me. However, you have to be realistic. You have to look at the triggering things around us. What is really going on? Why aren't they listening? Well, for starters, we're not listening. We're distracted. We're exhausted. We're not paying attention. We're not showing up. The number of people I'm hearing as I go by places saying, "What? Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. Oh, sorry, I'm busy. Sorry. Yeah, what were you saying? How the hell do you have a conversation? How do you feel better about people with you, caring about you, listening to you, sharing a joke, sharing a hug, sharing a tear, sharing a frustration? How do you feel better about any of that if you're not even here? How do you feel better about any of that if they're not even here? They just autopiloted their way from their house to their vehicle, to their transportation mode. They ended up here. They parked. They got off the thing. They walked over and they sat down. But they're not here. How is them being in closer proximity to us of any benefit at all if they're not here. You got to do the whole thing. I used to be really annoyed with people who would do things so dumb, vastly below their, not only their potential, but their skill set. I would say it's very important to make sure that you don't leave your brains in your other pants when you change your clothes to come out. And they say, no. On that time scheduler, put brains in pants. Put brains in pocket. Why? Because we're not as clever as we think we are without our focus. We're not as skilled as we think we are if we don't pay attention. If we're trying to thread the thing in the huzumi and we realize that we have the wrong huzumi and we're fussing with it and thinking, oh, that wasn't going to work. There's 10 minutes I'll never get back. Who did that to me? Oh, I did. Why? I was thinking about that funny text I just got. I was listening for the ping on the phone, and in the middle of finding the right thingy, the phone pinged. Well, there you are. So why aren't they listening? They're not listening for the same reason we're not listening. We're not even here. I make a commitment to myself every day. The commitment is this: I got stuff. I got stuff I get to do today. How lucky am I? I also have stuff I should do, I must do, it's important to do, that doesn't fill me with joy. And I'm not that Pollyanna who says, you know, if you have to clean the toilet, you should be grateful that you have a toilet. Yes. However, yes, no caveats, no howevers. Yes, you're right. I am grateful that I have a toilet. I am grateful that I don't have to go outside and find a bush. I am grateful that I'm not outside anyway, and I'm living beside the bush. Yes, of course. Period, paragraph, new page. I have to clean the toilet today. I choose it to be my to-do today. Can I do it tomorrow? Yes. Could I have done it yesterday? Yes. I chose today. All right, then I'm in charge. I picked the day. That's not the part I'm giving myself as a gift. The gift I'm giving myself is the stuff I get to do. The smiles I get to nudge onto people's faces. I get to tap into focus when people are watching these videos and talking to me later. I get to do that. It's awesome. I get to work on this project. I get to talk to people about what I'm going to do with this project. How I'm going to teach so that it is easier for you to learn how to let the past go. How to recognize that you heard something from a parent that does not apply, that possibly never did, and certainly does not apply now. How do you let go of that? I can teach you that. Am I a genius? No, I had to learn it myself because I was doing it. I am the same as you. I'm just further down the path. I can teach you how to set yourself free. And by that I mean, I can teach you how to believe in you. I can't cause you to believe in you, but I can show you where the steps are. I can show you where the stones across the pond are. I can give you examples that we do together that allow you to see that you already do so much of this stuff. The only thing missing is your awareness that you're doing it. And because you're not aware that you're doing it, you're also not aware that you're succeeding. Once I show you that you do it, that you succeed, and I take you to the place at the beginning and walk you through how I just watched you do it, all of a sudden you have a whole lot of power. All of a sudden you have a whole lot of attaboy, attagirl. Alrighty then. Confidence levels rise, take the deeper breath. And even if today began with you feeling tired, you have something to be excited about after you get some rest. And because you're not distracted and tired and you don't feel purposeful and you don't feel like the things aren't working and you say, you know what, I'm just going to eat some cheese doodles and watch some mindless stuff. Okay. If I show you a thing you do that you're good at, that's amazing, and it feels great and it accomplishes stuff, you're going to go to bed and get some rest to do it better tomorrow. You're the one who says, you know what, I don't need, I'm not really hungry. I don't need to cheese doodles. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed, I'm excited. All we need to have is us choosing when to lean in, choosing why it matters, choosing to put the phone down, click the off thing so we don't hear, put it on airplane mode so it doesn't go ping and distract you. What's that? If there are enough proofs that the stuff you already do, that you are doing, is pretty cool, it will motivate you to say, you know what, I'll give her another 10 minutes. I need to keep an eye on the clock because at 1 o'clock I need to do this, but I'll put my phone away. I'll give her 100% till then. That's a commitment to possibility. You're not committing to me. You're committing to you. Why aren't they listening? They've turned off the volume. They've shut down. They've walked away because nobody was listening to them, because they were exhausted, because they've been asked to do too much, too often. And with no one listening and no one stepping out of their comfort zone to give them a hug, to get their attention, they feel alone. Why bother? What's in it for me? Not enough. If they don't care, why should I care? We hear that a lot. I hear it a lot. And my answer is, don't make me come over there. You want me to come over there and fix this? I can fix it. No, I'm fine. I just need, yeah. Okay. When we hear that tone, they're turning the volume down again. They came for a second and then they went. So is it any wonder that our New Year's resolutions, no surprise. So I have an idea, and I'd like to hear what you think. If January really wrung us out, if we really had a difficult time with December, if November was a struggle, for all the reasons, something's broken, something isn't working, something is something. Let the past go. Why it happened, okay, for a later time, for a later conversation. It's a time vamper, those conversations. Helpful? Yes, not right now. While we're tap dancing with a flaming chainsaw is not the time to discuss who thought of the chain drive. Really? We can do that another time. What we need now is permission to breathe. One of my lovely people sent me a little note yesterday and said, 5-finger breathing today. Simple win. Thank you, darling. And I didn't get the backstory. What they did was let me know that it has become a helpful habit for them. It has become a conscious decision and an unconscious decision to make that part of their process every day, every time there is an anxious moment, an angry moment, a confused moment, a lost moment. 30 seconds. It's actually 15 seconds for each hand. That's all they said. 5-finger breathing, 30 seconds. Simple win. Thank you, darling. That's a big win for me. Why? Because they were listening. And they gave themselves permission to think about what they heard. It didn't just go in one ear, climb through a bunch of stuff we haven't cleaned, and come out the other. It takes time to do that. Ironically, it takes the same amount of time that we are already using on something else on the time scheduler. What this is a reallocation of the same time. Not I don't have time, I don't have more time. Reallocation. These fitness programs that come at you and say, new diet changes everything. Step 1, get rid of everything in the pantry. What? Step 2, here's the grocery list. Step 3, here's the cookbook to learn how to cook all this new stuff. Okay, and what am I giving up of my list of things I'm doing that are fairly essential to add this? Oh yes, and you need to go to the gym, or if you don't want to go to the gym, we also sell this equipment. You can work out at home. Okay. Wait, what do I give up? It's going to take me 2 hours to go through the pantry. What am I taking those 2 hours away from? Because today is a very busy day. There's no time like the present. Yeah, there is. There's a day when I'm not so busy. What am I doing? Now, if this is the diet you need to have because you're fatally allergic to something and you're going to die if you keep eating it, granted. That's a fairly big purpose. I will now take those 2 to 3 hours away from, I don't need to get my hair done today. I will move that to another time. I will move that to 2 weeks from now. I don't need it immediately. If I was stuck in an ice storm for 6 weeks, as I was in 1998, I didn't get my hair done. If I could do it then, I can do it now. All right. But if it's just because this is a hot new diet, you need to try it. Okay, but I got a lot of other hot stuff or lukewarm stuff that I have to sort out. And the fact that people are saying, just do more to be more, is the single most tone deaf thing I've heard a lot of people say every day. Just do more. Just be more. How exactly? How without an instruction book? Just say this. Okay, I can say it, but where's the instruction booklet to apply it? And how long is this going to take me? How much time do I have to front end load that is going to give me the resources I need to make this work? Are you listening to you? I don't think you are. I think you're saying, oh yes, they'll love it and they'll be willing to do this. They might be willing. There may be priorities, there may be commitments, there may be limitations, there may be hurdles to cross. My job with you guys, my job with me first, and then if it works, I say, okay, we'll try it with them. My job with you guys is to give you the reasons and the tools to smile. To give you the reasons and the tools to say, well, that's not good enough. Because once it's not good enough, you have to replace it with something. Otherwise, you're just miserably unhappy. My job is to give you the wherewithal, the awareness that it's doable when, as, and if we take these steps. Here are the steps. This is how it works. How do I know? Practiced. Step 1, are you listening? Step 2, are you listening to you? Step 3, are you listening to the little inner voice that is just telling you the thing that somebody said randomly or purposefully and incorrectly a million years ago? You'll never amount to anything. Nobody in our family has ever done anything original. The best thing you could ever possibly do is just get some little job that isn't too difficult, and they really need you and you're essential, and don't make any waves, and just show up and be as consistent as you possibly can, and basically say yes to everything they ask you to do. And with any luck, you won't die and starve and be homeless. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. How about this? You know what you're really good at? It's crazy because none of the rest of us are. You're really good at this. Are you curious to find out more about it? If you're curious, let me know. We'll see what we can do to help you find out. You want to go and get some training in it? You want to do something? We'd love you to do something practical so that you can be, independent and self-reliant. This may be practical. You want us to help you figure out how you can do both, juggle both? If you didn't get the second one, you're on autopilot following the first one. Part of my job is to help you realize what you've been listening to instead of you. Part of my job is to help you say, oh, that doesn't make any sense, and laugh, not feel shame or blame or guilt, not feel like you're rejecting someone who did their best or who didn't do their best. Simply that it may have worked for someone at some time. It does not work for me now. I am the one here standing in this body, me now. It is the now me I need instructions for. Well, maybe if I could just compromise, if I just pretzeled my way into this, it wouldn't be so hateful. Yes, it will be. Yeah, it will. Yeah, because when that muscle cramp kicks in the middle of the night, there you go. Are you listening to you? Are they listening to them? Are we listening to each other? One of the reasons that a video is more interesting than audio, and an audio and a video are more interesting than print, is that print takes more work to read. You could have me on audio in your ears walking around doing the dishes. If you have your coffee, because we do this at coffee break, you can be sitting saying, you know what, I'm going to give myself the time that Abby sets because I deserve this. And maybe I won't watch it when she's actually live, but I'll watch it at some point. You can sit there and listen and think about it. And you can see the mom dress behind me and the Care Bears pictures behind me and the silly shoes. And you can get a multi-layered information and entertainment experience. And maybe hear the message part of it that's meant for you. Maybe, if you're listening. It's the beginning of a new year, according to the Chinese zodiac. It is the year of the dragon. We can look at this new year in a couple of ways. Oh God, it's February. Oh yeah. Nobody to love me for Valentine's. Oh no. Or you can say, it's the first day of a full 12 months. I'm going to figure out how to tame my dragon. There's a movie on it. Maybe I'll just use that as instructions. Turns out, the little kid says, we don't have to fight them. They want us to like them. I watched the trailer yesterday. They're like dogs with wings, cats with wings. How handy. We can choose to feel victimized and unheard and unseen with no value. Or we can choose to say, maybe I can tame this dragon. I wonder how many minutes and hours and days and months it's going to take. And I will say, well, let's get out your time scheduler. Figure out where that 30 seconds goes. Every break in the day. What if, do you ever ask yourself, what if? What if this first day of the Dragon Days, we say, I'm going to commit 30 seconds whenever I feel the need. And in the meantime, I'll put a little reminder on my phone or on my computer, or on my wristwatch, or write it and stick it on a Post-it note on my forehead, that whenever I'm feeling a little bit verklempt, I deserve 30 seconds. We can afford, if you do 30 seconds, 6 times a day, 6 times a day, that's 3 minutes. 3 minutes out of a day. We can probably find 3 minutes. If we do it 10 times a day, that's 5 minutes. We can probably find 5 minutes. The interesting thing about the 30-second 5-finger breathing exercise is we can do this while we do something else, while we go and sit in that little room around all the porcelain appliances. We can do it sitting on the bus. We can do it waiting for the water to boil for the thing that we're cooking. We can do it right before bed. We can do it as we dry ourselves off out of the shower. We can just quickly do it for 30 seconds. It is a very flexible, fluid, small 30-second gift we can give ourselves. And maybe while we're doing it, at the end of it, we can make ourselves smile if at the end of it, and we're done, we say, are you listening to you? Alrighty then, let's do this. And it doesn't have to be a big win. It doesn't have to be a spike the ball. It doesn't have to mean we're going to the Super Bowl. It can be a simple win that says, I got it. Alrighty then. I figured out it. Oh yeah, it has to go this way. I say that. Oh, look. I do it all the time. But I don't beat myself up, except for that thing. I laugh because I was facing the wrong way. I'm the creator, the author, the originator of Pivotry in Motion. The reason I'm doing that is because I've spent my whole life saying, oh, it's here. And I have done more than okay looking around and figuring it out. I have done more than okay by not investing in the story from before to the extent of the story today. And when someone says to me, would you like to join me for coffee or dinner, or do you want to have a chat on the phone? I'm thrilled. It's delightful that they asked. And I set the other things aside and I adjust the time schedule and I put a little star beside the thing I'm going to move out of the way because I'm going to have a phone call. And it's going to take as long as it's going to take. And that's a gift to me from someone. So I'm going to listen. I'm not going to be on the phone and texting. I'm not going to be on the phone and cooking. I'm going to be listening and learning and growing and feeling like somebody cared, because they did, because I am. So that is my message for us going into this first week of February, this first week of our dragon year. Whatever the resolutions were that we gave ourselves, made for ourselves, wrote down somewhere, however that worked, good, or oops, next. It's a brand new year today. Brand new. So when I have the website up, the time schedule will be available. You can make a table all yourself, really. It's just handy to have it already done. We need habits to replace the silly habits that distract us and exhaust us. We need habits that help us and nurture us and give us permission to feel, yeah, all right, I was all right. We need those habits. We need the habits that we are excited to listen to, instead of the habits that we have just become ho-hum, same old, same old. We need them. We deserve them. We've earned them. You have my permission to adjust. All that has to happen now is that you have to give you permission to adjust. And the things we clung to, that we're still clinging to, in our quiet moments, in our 30 seconds after we've done our breathing, some we do still want to cling to. And some we're just going through the motions on. We don't have to give them away. We don't have to turn our back. But let's put them someplace else, over there. We have to turn our head to see, instead of it's right there distracting us constantly. I have Mom behind me, I have Mom behind me, I have the Care Bears behind me, I have the shoes behind me. I have to turn in my chair to see them, unless I'm doing a video, and then they're there. If I look away from you, if I look away from you to look at that, I'm looking away from the present to look at the past. There's the analogy. And you matter more. We matter more, because we're doing stuff that's very cool. So I know you're listening to somebody right now, whether it's me or the inner you, or somebody saying, how long are you going to be on that video? I know you're listening to someone. My only request, my only advice, my only guidance is, are they listening to you? Does it work for you? Because you deserve it. You deserve to have it work for you. You may not feel you're awesome right now. That's okay. Waves ebb and flow. But you matter to so many people. It would not be the same without you. And that's kind of a cool thing to know. All right, I'm going to let you go. It has been, it's been an hour. Here's me prattling on. I hope it was a great hour for you. It was exactly perfect for me because of you, because of the conversation. So the weekend is upon us. The Dragon of Weekend is upon us. You get to choose. Let me know if something comes to you and you decide to make a scary, crazy, wonderful, fabulous decision to either stay and not do it or go and do it. Either way, let me know. And I will see you next Tuesday. In the meantime, be good to you. Hug your loved ones. They probably have people not listening to them either. They deserve you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Came in late, Patrick. I hope everyone is. Thank you, Patrick. You're awesome. You're awesome.